Yeah, you got food poisoning the other day, right?
I got food poisoning yesterday.
Was it just you, or was it you and Suze?
Me
both?
and Suze? But
sounds
she
fun.
got the better version. I got the barf version. She got the butt version, and so I got the butt version and the barf version.
Both versions are bad.
Honestly, I would like nausea is the worst feeling in the world. I would rather like be crucified than be nauseous for like 2 hours. It sucks so bad.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I hate nausea. I can never hear myself, but y'all can hear me.
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, great.
If you got crucified and you were up there and you started to get nauseous, that would be very fun.
No, I think if you were getting crucified, you'd be like, actually, I think I would take the nausea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as I could get down eventually when I got tired.
This is really hard on my arms.
Enough. Yeah.
No, nausea is the worst thing. I went to the hospital because I'm such a little bitch and I couldn't keep anything down when I was a freshman in college because of the birth control I was on. I was on Yasmin.
Dude, I've been on that before. It's really bad.
It's the worst. Did
Wait,
you throw
was
up
that the one-
constantly? They
No.
recalled it.
That was like the crazy one.
and I
right?
contacted, they were like, if you've been affected by
Was it like a
Yasmin.
class action?
Yeah, and I like submitted and they were like, no, you don't have the right symptoms. But
Am I like totally off, or didn't like stuff like ooze out of people?
No, isn't
No,
that the
that
one that
was-
like gave women like heart
Like
things?
embolisms and
yeah,
shit.
like,
So-
you
if
would like
smoked-
literally die.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you smoked on it.
which I did.
Yeah.
But it gave people pulmonary embolisms, and then also the nausea medicine that they gave me. That was, I think it was called Regulin. That was
Thalidomide. They gave you thalidomide.
Well, that also at the same time there was a class action lawsuit because it caused what's it called? Neurodegenerative like side effects. So yeah,
But what does that mean? Like you,
people just had like seizures and shit.
dude.
You're pretty sharp considering.
Yeah, considering all the bad medicines I've taken.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you on now?
Nothing. I don't take birth control anymore because I'm afraid of it. But I had to go to the hospital because I started throwing up so much that my gag reflex was like triggered, so I couldn't stop throwing up. And my esophagus is still fucked up, and I refuse to do anything different. And so I'll probably die from my esophagus bursting anyway. And having terrible heartburn. But anyway, so
Hell yeah.
they had to put me on a potassium IV because I lost like so much weight and I couldn't keep anything down. And I was such a bitch because I was nauseous the whole time.
Yeah.
And none of the stuff they would give me. And I was just like begging them for weed. And they were like, we can't give you weed. This is a hospital.
Well, that was the mistake I made yesterday. Was I was like, I'm nauseous, and I know I'm gonna throw up. Maybe I'll just, if I just smoke weed,
Yeah.
I won't. So I just prolonged it.
Yeah.
Like I just had to fight my
your
body.
body actually needs to get it
Like
out.
yeah, my body's like, we'll die if we don't get rid of this.
Yeah.
And it's not close enough to your butt, so it's got to come out the top. And I was just like I was loading a musket or whatever. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm always afraid to smoke weed when I think I might actually like need to puke. But most of the time when I'm puking, it's because like I'm just nauseous and I don't actually need to get anything out.
Yeah.
Actually, last time I was on this podcast, I got sick immediately after because I was coming back from a trip to Mexico. And I was like, my stomach feels really weird, but like I have this podcast, so hopefully I don't have to like have diarrhea in the middle. But like right when it ended, I was like sick for 48 hours, like barfing and shitting for like just constant.
That actually happens to all of our guests.
Great. I can't wait for it to happen in like 3 hours.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah, when me and Susanna had been dating for like 5 or 6 months, you guys know this story. I got the top and bottom flu.
From the same place? Food poisoning? or
No,
just sickness?
this was in Iowa City, and like just some kind of stomach flu. Yeah, she just stuck her head in to grin from ear to ear. But yeah, I was like barfing a lot, and then like it was snowy. And I hadn't shoveled the steps, so she was like carrying a bucket of my puke out to the, and then she slipped and fell.
Wait, did the barf get on her?
No, she's got poise, dude. But then I did. What's that? I said you're forgetting the best part of the story. I'm not forgetting. I'm saving it as the fucking punchline. Jesus, backseat drivers. Anyway, so I shit the bed.
I literally did that when I was sick very recently. First time ever. First
Yeah.
time shitting myself ever. Really a humbling
Did you wake
experience.
up immediately?
It was like one of those situations where I was like taking like a sick nap. Like I was just like feverish and dying.
Right.
And like sweating and horrible. And I like woke up and I was like, oh, like I think I'm going to have diarrhea in a second. But like I'm like really like
Comfy.
I like couldn't get up because I was sick and like tired and whatever.
Yeah.
And so it just occurred. And like this was like right after me and my partner
That
broke
was
up.
great, like
Yeah.
political speak. Like it occurred.
Yeah, it occurred. It just happened.
Yeah.
But like my ex-boyfriend, we had just broken up, but he was like still living in my house, and he
Oh,
like
God.
had to like care for
Oh,
me and
no.
my bed, and I was like, I would not do this for you if you had just broken up with me. But
Yeah.
some of us are more mature than others.
That's very kind.
Yeah, he's a nice boy, nice man.
Yeah, pretty early on into dating Izzy, I got really sick while I was at her house, and I think like we'd been out in the rain or something, and I was gonna go home, but I like couldn't go. Like I just could not leave her bed. I was too sick. So
Like stomach sick or
stomach sick.
Okay, yeah.
So I ended up just wearing the only thing she had, which were like green tights and like little pom pom socks.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I was like, all right, I think this is serious.
You're wearing the
I think we're in a
clothes.
pretty committed relationship now.
I mean, once you deal with like poop stuff, it's kind of like
Yeah.
that you're there.
I've never shit the bed with Jeff or anyone I was with. I've only shit myself when I was running.
That's a very common thing.
Yeah.
Is it?
and
My
I
mom
just-
is a big
Yeah.
runner, and
Yeah,
it is.
marathons are just like
You just
It was
told
not
on
a
your mom
marathon. It
real
was
hard.
like a mile and a half.
My mom has never shit herself, but she will like knock on someone's door, like a straight. She'll be running and she'll knock on someone's door and she'll be like, "Can I use your bathroom?" Like, I like the.
What a psycho.
I'm obsessed
So
with your mom.
insane. It's truly insane. And if they'll say no, she'll just like poop wherever she is, and she's like, "Well, what is someone gonna do? Like." Arrest me?" And I'm like, well, actually, yes. Or like someone's gonna record you and you're gonna be on YouTube, and I'm gonna have to be like, that's my mom, like shitting in the street.
I'm pissed at your mom because I work somewhere where there are people nearby who there's like a lot of like homeless people who come near there, and people will just shit or piss, and someone has to clean it up.
Well, she usually does it in the woods, to be fair, but
yeah.
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, that's
it's-
fine.
Yeah, Benjamin
The woods
was
is
saying-
fair territory.
Benjamin was saying he gets a bonus every time he
Cleans up.
human poop, and I was like, I'll just come to your work and I will make you a rich man.
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Wait, do you really get a bonus?
Yes, that's like a real thing.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
I don't know if I should talk. Whatever. People are still going to go there. It's a great restaurant, but
Yeah.
yeah. You were there yesterday.
Yes, it's very nice.
Wait,
I
so-
wouldn't. I wouldn't poop
I didn't see
outside
you come in at all.
I was
and then You were
there-
just there.
before. I don't know when you started, but I was there for a while.
Oh, I was there all day. I didn't
Oh.
see you, and then
I
all of a
also did
sudden,
not see
you.
you.
were there. How was the apple pie?
It was very good. Thank you. I'm not usually like a sweets person, but
Me neither.
Wait, how did you not see her? I thought that you gave her food.
like he didn't see me until I was already there. Like he didn't see me order.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is impossible because it's like a really small spot. Yeah, good podcasting right here.
Dude, people want to know.
Yeah,
This
people
is
wanna
inside
know-
baseball shit.
People want to know where we all are at all times.
At all times.
Actually, this crazy thing happened. I was at Cajun's with my friend the other night when
Hell
I got
yes.
here. Yes, I like karaoke, watching it and performing it. And our other friend just like appeared, and she was like, "Well, I have your location in my phone." To our other friend, and I was like, "That's fucking weird." And she's like, "Well, it's like a New Orleans thing, like for Mardi Gras. Like you need to just have your location shared with your friends at all times." And I was like, "That's not." You would just see me
I don't
like
know
on my
this.
couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, they can do that without
Yeah,
someone
dropping a pin.
Yeah,
Like, you're
but
supposed
you
to
like
drop a
share
pin.
your location with your friend. You know, if you've done that before,
Yeah,
probably.
for sure.
But then you just never turn it off.
Oh, shit. No, that's not something that I'm
wild.
familiar with, but it's not a bad idea.
Dude, is it though?
That's the plot to the Dark Knight is that Batman has that app
Right.
on everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, it was kind of nice in this like.
Yeah.
What are your
So your friend
go-to
just appeared.
karaoke song?
Well, I did "Damn It" by Blink-182.
Good
yeah.
one.
This past time, yeah, I thought it was crowd pleaser. "Teenage Dirtbag" by Wheatus,
Hell
also a good
yes.
one.
Good one.
And then if I'm feeling like scorned, "You Ought to Know."
That's a good one.
Dude, I know all of the lines. I know all of Jagged Little Pill by bass line alone because my sister would fucking blast it and I would hear it through the wall. So
Quarantine.
So yeah, exactly. But yeah, mine are Twist and Shout, Jeepster by T-Rex, and I used to do Say It Ain't So by Weezer,
Oh, really good one.
but I saw someone do it and like really feel themselves, like a man do it and really feel
And you're
himself.
like, I don't want to be that.
Exactly. Like
I always feel it whenever I do karaoke. I never do it half-assed.
What do you do?
My go-to is Because the Night by Patti Smith because it's easy to sing and a great song.
Yeah, great song. Crowd pleaser.
Also done Closer to Find by Indigo Girls.
Love them.
And
I was really gay for a long time.
obviously
so.
Goodbye Earl.
Oh, that's a really
Obviously
good
what?
one.
Goodbye Earl. Yeah, but all the other ones
It's
I've
fun
tried
whenever
have been
someone
bad.
does that at Cajuns, and then you like spot the two dudes who are uncomfortable
Yeah.
with it, and you're like, oh, okay.
We're gonna murder you, specifically.
Y'all should leave.
Man, love the Dixie Chicks. Yeah.
Are you a karaoke person?
Not really. I don't really like it, but I do like attention a lot.
Yeah, right.
Wait, you don't like to do it, or you don't like to see it?
I don't like to be around it.
You hate
really.
to see
Ooh, why? Yeah, you hate to see it. Why?
I don't like most people's taste in music. I think I don't like their choice. It's just a bunch of
Dude,
songs I don't want to hear.
That's
most
why
of the time.
That's why I go to karaoke night is to
Sung
watch people
poorly.
with impeccable taste.
But I can't really sing, so most of the time I do rap, and my like go-to is "What's Your Fantasy." Because it's
Whoa.
like really fast, and most people are impressed that I know all the words to it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've probably listened to that song more than any other song.
Yeah. That was the first song that they played at our wedding when I was like, okay, you can play raunchy music now. And all
Yeah.
the old people were still there and everyone was like, what's going on?
When I think about Cajuns in 2011, I think about how many white people I watched say the N-word and like no one batted an
Yeah,
eye.
Kristen Gremion, God bless her. She's saying a million. I still think about how she said
Dude.
the N-word every time.
Yeah, there was another
It's
guy.
just so easy to not say it, and just like
This was also a different time. This was before we found out that it was bad to say if you were singing along to a song. I know that sounds crazy.
I blame the fucking very famous Chris Rock bit where he's like, white people
Oh,
can say it
dude.
if it's in a song.
That was
Like-
his like. Oh, I
No,
thought-
not the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the other one.
I would never do it to karaoke. But Kristen, like, I think would be very, very embarrassed that she did that now. This
Wait,
was
is
probably,
this your friend?
Yeah.
Like,
This
okay.
was like 2006, 2005.
Honestly,
probably.
like people pretend like it.
Everyone pretends like they never did shit like that.
exactly.
No, of course,
Yeah.
but that's why honestly Twitter is good and bad because you can like unearth people's like mistakes, which is like a shitty vindictive thing to do.
Right.
But also like if you're an observer, it's like you kind of get to breathe like a sigh of relief. Like,
Right.
oh, like not everyone was born like perfect.
Right.
Right,
exactly.
but they are getting. But the reason you know is that they're getting crucified for not being. born
Yeah, which is
perfect.
like insane and I'm extremely
And then,
opposed
like-
to.
But it wasn't until Kendrick Lamar fucking roasted that girl on stage
Mm-hmm.
that people were like that. I think that people who are not like the most woke were like, oh, like I didn't
It's
know
wrong.
that. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Which
I
is
don't.
pretty-
I missed this.
Yeah, this is when I feel like it entered the discourse where it was just like everyone was just like, okay, me, like it's can't do it, and it was like Kendrick Lamar pulled a white girl on stage and she was like rapping along into the microphone, and then he was like, whoa, whoa,
Oh my god!
slow down,
But yeah, so he was like,
say neighbor.
he was like, there's one word you're not supposed to say. We're going to try this again. And then she did it again.
Oh, what word did she think it was?
I mean, there were like 20,000 people there too. Like, oh my God.
That's
Man.
horrible.
Fucking
That's
idiot.
so embarrassing and just horrible. And you know when you have like you do something embarrassing and it's like maybe not that bad, but it's just like embarrassing, but like it just plays on repeat.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
Like in your head
Yes.
every night before you go to bed.
Yes.
Or like you'll just
Or
be
just
like
at
at the
random.
grocery
Yeah.
store and it's just there and you're just like, fuck, why am I such a loser and an idiot?
Dude,
when that
but, like,
happens to
easily
me, I
the-
out loud say "kill yourself" accidentally in public.
Easily the number one thing you're not supposed to do when you unexpectedly are on stage
Is
in
say
front of
the N-word.
20,000 people is say the N-word after being told not to.
She was probably just like in the zone and like,
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
You know, when you're in the zone, just fucking, you let them fly.
Okay, I would literally. I mean, that to me, you like it. You say you like attention. I believe you, but would you want to be on stage
No.
in front of 20,000 people,
Absolutely.
rapping
Hell
to
yes.
Kendrick Lamar?
No.
Hell yes.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
No.
No, and I like.
And I love attention.
I'm saying hell yes, Benjamin would.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Hell
but
yes.
you know. No,
Oh, I would not like to be in front of stage. Like even if it was just
I
to
have
be
no-
like
Yeah.
the only
I'm also
reason
saying
I would
this
ever
after
want to talk.
bombing last night.
The only reason
so.
I would ever want to be in front of
At
20,000
comedy?
people was to confess my sins. Like that would be
Yeah.
the only thing that felt good.
The only thing I would want to be on stage in front of 20,000 people if they were there to see me for like comedy, which would never happen because comedians don't have.
Hell yes.
But like
Except
if
for
I was
Kevin
just
Hart, and he
pulled-
has like fireworks happening.
But if I was just like pulled on stage, I'd be like, no, because I'm so narcissistic that attention that's not actually for me is attention I don't want. Like I don't want other people's attention.
I like that you got to earn
Like
it.
you don't want Kendrick Lamar's fans' attention.
No.
You want your own fans'
Yeah,
attention.
and I don't need attention unless it's like specifically because I'm good and they're there for me. But like other than that, I don't like attention. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, what about like if you played guitar and someone pulled you on stage and like was like play guitar
Yeah,
for this
that
song?
would be amazing.
Yeah,
That's-
okay, cool. Yeah.
But it would have to be not just the attention. It would have to be for something that like I'm good at.
There's like there was a guy that got pulled on stage for a Mac DeMarco's song, and he fucking nailed it. And
that's amazing.
And everyone was just like, dude,
I hate Mac DeMarco
legend.
though.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I've just never been into it.
Dude, I like Mac DeMarco, but he has one song that he just does over and
Which
like,
one?
It's just all of his songs are this exact same fucking
for
song.
sure. That's how I felt.
It's just
first,
like noodly, like sliding thirds and sixths, and like singing about your ex-girlfriend or whatever.
I don't know what it is. Like when it was cool to listen to him all the time, I was like, I don't see it. And then like of 6 years later, I was like, hell yeah, this rules. And everyone was like, wow, okay, thanks Pitchfork 2012, motherfucker. I don't know.
No, I feel like it was later than that when everyone was into Mac DeMarco.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Are you into Mac DeMarco?
No, but I'm not really into most things.
Yeah.
Wait, can we go back to the attention question? Because I've been thinking about this a lot because I think people there's like people think there's like you either want attention or don't want attention. There's like two camps, but I really think it's more of like a gradient because I think some people would be like, oh, you, Mindy, like you like attention. And I think that's true sometimes. Maybe like like I'm fine to have like Twitter followers or whatever. But if there was like a stage or something, I would like die to be on. That would be very
But you like doing
uncomfortable.
karaoke.
Yeah, but only drunk. I could never do it like sober. And I can only do it here, like not in Philadelphia where I would know someone.
What about like in your organizing
very
work? Have you ever like spoken or anything like that? Is that something that happens?
No, I think if you're like, not to be like, I'm a good organizer, but in the like union, it's different for like DSA stuff. But like if you're like a union organizer, your job is to be like not seen or heard.
right, yeah.
So it's like you're supposed to like,
Not be on the.
you're supposed to like push workers to like do stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you make it about yourself, then you're like shitty.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would hate to like talk in front of people or like even at a party. Because sometimes I find myself like being like, there's like funny guy, like party funny guy. And like I hate when I see men doing that. And it's like what I realized about myself. It's like any man who has any personality trait that I have is like totally disgusting to me. And then I'm like, but this is me. So like if I'm being like party funny guy or whatever, I'll be like enjoying it for a second. And then I'll be like, all these people are like looking at me and they're like waiting for me to be funny again. And it's like not going to happen. And now I like need to like walk it back and I don't know how.
So, something that one of my biggest regrets is like for some reason transitioning from being a very, very, very aloof like person who only spoke when he had something to say to being someone who like just cannot stop talking or whatever. And when I was really aloof and only spoke when I had something to say, everyone thought I was a fucking brilliant brain genius. And now everyone can see me for who I actually am. Yeah, which is a fucking idiot.
That's not true. No one thinks that you're an idiot.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
there
you
is
do
a
a better.
difference.
We all do a better job. Like if you talk too much, you're gonna fuck up
Yeah.
more often than if you talk not a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
And I talk a lot, so.
But there is something to. I mean, I think that one of the reasons why MD is so good at. Sorry, this is going to make you uncomfortable, but so good at stand up is that like the thing that people respond to is that it is to some extent unmediated.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Yeah.
To see it.
Thank
You love to see it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love when women can accept a compliment.
I'm good at stand up. I'll say that.
She is.
Love when women know the things they're good at. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's similar to what I like, which is I like it when women know what they suck at. Just kidding.
Yeah, like you could go to a party and be like, so like, what don't you like about yourself? That's like such a good. This is like so fucked up, but honestly think there is probably like some kind of like thing in like a men's rights forum that's like how to get a woman to go home with you. Get them talking about the stuff they don't like about themselves.
I think that actually is like pickup artists.
Well, it's like negging
Right.
is
Yeah.
like
Get them to neg themselves.
Yeah.
No, Michael had this compliment circle that he did not start at his birthday party, and it was the worst thing in the world. It was so funny. So who started it?
The sweetest person in the world, Bethany.
Bethany.
Do you know Bethany?
Yes.
That's
I
a
do.
sweet person
yeah, of
name.
course.
She is.
yeah, totally. You
Yeah.
could not be a bitch
She's
named
a-
Bethany.
an
Except
angel.
the best Coast broad. The best Coast broad is named Bethany, and she has like a sassy side, I feel.
Okay.
But generally, I agree.
Well, Bethany has a sassy
She's a
side.
social worker who rules and is so nice.
Yeah.
And she was
She's
like,
the
"It's
kind
your
person."
birthday.
Yeah.
We should get everyone in this room to give you a compliment
Literally my worst nightmare.
with a gun to their head."
Yeah, so everyone was like, I was like really fucked up, and everyone was just sitting like this. And then a lot of the compliments were like, so I think my compliment was inspired by another compliment, which was like an insult paired with a compliment. But the compliment circle was brutal.
I just don't have self-control.
Yeah,
so it's like,
me
it's
either.
very rare for me to be sexually attracted to someone. But if I am, like, I'm not, and I'm also not like, like I have friends who are like on Tinder all the time. Like they're really driven by sex. And I'm not. Like, I think dating is like dumb and boring and like sex is disgusting. But if I want to have sex with someone, then I'm like, oh my God, I can't think about anything else.
Wasn't
No,
there
he's
an
not.
article, some Philly publication about like men?
Yes, actually, our like labor reporter, who's extremely awesome, did like a deep dive into union Tinder and
Yeah.
like would only swipe right on like building trades guys who are like steam fitters.
Like put their
and,
local in the fucking yeah.
And they're all like white and like crazy, and like half of them are like Trump voters, and they're just like, I love South Philly, I love my union, I love my family, I love being Italian. And that's like their whole.
Union Trump supporter is a very interesting, like mindset to be. I can't even comprehend what that's
But
like.
it makes sense though. I mean, if you're not political, I mean, it's
There wasn't a
complicated,
union.
but-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's complicated because like if you're not political, you love your union, you're like white and like maybe kind of racist, and like if you got into the union from your family or whatever, which is what happens in Philly a lot with the building trades, you think you worked hard to get into it, but you actually really didn't, because it's like all nepotism, which is not that big of a deal. Like nepotism isn't the big deal people think it is, but like you're like, well, I worked hard and I have this good job. Why are all these poor people running around like asking for handouts and they don't have a job? They could just join the union. When in actuality, like at least in Philly, and I think in a lot of places too, the building trades are really racist and whatever. And you also, yeah, it's like cultural, but it's also work. And then you have the Democrats who are like
Right.
really rich elites who like say they care about the unions, but are like millionaires and billionaires and like have never worked a real job.
There was not-
They're like in a dynasty.
There was
like
not a
political
union-friendly
dynasty.
candidate in 2016, so why the fuck not? Right?
You mean besides Bernard Sanders?
No. I mean in
But
the
once-
fucking general.
In the general, yeah. No,
Right.
totally. And then Trump is like, I want to do all these infrastructure.
Anti-establishment,
Yeah, and
right.
he's like, I want to do all this infrastructure stuff. And like,
But who do they think the unions are like, or like, whose interest do they think the unions have? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well-
because if like the idea of like worker solidarity and coming together at all, like that's beyond anything the Democrats are offering. That is further left than the Democrats. So to like be there already.
well,
I mean, I understand.
it's hard
I don't
'cause
think
a lot of them are
it's-
socially conservative, which I think the left really like struggles to accept and like deal with.
Right.
It's like a lot of union members, a lot of workers, like this is going to get me canceled, but they think like sex work is like morally reprehensible.
Right.
They like maybe don't care about gay people, but like they maybe think it's like kind of weird or gross. They maybe don't get trans people. And obviously there are like trans workers and gay workers, but if we're talking about like the average worker in the country, a lot of them hold
or maybe
like,
not even the average, but
backwards-
certainly like a lot.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And women too, like people are anti-abortion, or maybe
Right.
they're pro-choice, but they think like it should be like we should try to have fewer abortions, and like
Most
it's-
people don't like abortions with no conditions on them. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just different than the way the like organized left talks about the stuff that workers care about. And it's like, I don't know every worker. No one knows every worker. I've done a lot of union organizing in my life. In my experience, most of the workers that I've worked with care about wages, healthcare, and housing.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that affect their lives day to day. And of course, if they're gay, they care about gay stuff. Or if they have a gay family member, they care about gay stuff. But like, I'm kind of gay, so that's why I'm saying it flippantly. And I have a lesbian mom, so like, don't cancel me. But my mom, perfect
You're like,
example.
I'm full of gay stuff.
Yeah, no, perfect example. My mom is a letter carrier. She's a lesbian. And she's just like, I don't get the like cultural obsession with like queer stuff.
Identity,
She's like, yeah, it's like I love hanging out with other lesbians, but like mostly I'm concerned about like my pension. Like, duh, like all of us are.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. I don't want people to know who I'm having sex with. I just like want to have a pension.
Right.
You think
I think
sex should
part
be
of it-
illegal?
Yes, I do. I think sex should be illegal.
I think part of this is like sort of it's been an inescapable part of how culture works for a long time, is that like people who are like 16 to like 28 probably control culture.
Who use the internet.
Well, now, but like even like going back like generations, like that's roughly like that's the demographic of people that they're looking at and they're like, this is the new scary thing or whatever. And like people are going to equate what those people are into culturally and like the concerns they have with like whatever the politics of the left are, because generally those people are further left than everyone else. And it's just going to keep replicating that cycle over and over again. But those are not necessarily the same fight.
Yeah, but I also think, at least like from the internet, like the young people on the internet who are great and like whatever have a lot of important things to share. A lot of these ideas about like, I'm like very much going to get canceled, but a lot of these ideas about like identity and like like what some people would call cultural issues really do like come out of the academy, which like isn't where a lot of the people are. So like when people are talking about like queer theory and like even like abolitionism, which is something that I like support and care about and feel strongly about, it's just like it's really far away from where a lot of people are and how they like come into social movements. And I just think we should talk about it more, but you can't, because then you get like canceled and called.
So
like
you're
an
saying that
asshole.
like you think that you should still hold on to those goals, but not immediately like, you know, write someone off because they're not there yet. Or
yeah, I don't believe in canceling anyone
No,
for
I
the
agree.
most part, but I also think that like people misinterpret like where the class is, because like my neighbors are all black, they're all like legitimately working class, they're poor, and they like really like the police. And like the people who I know who dislike the police the most are like white people of basically like any age who are like leftists, and then like younger people of color. And obviously this is just my personal experience, but I think it is something like to reckon with more broadly. Like being a police officer is a good job, so like people are proud to be police officers, have police officers in their
talked about this
family.
This is my thing. Yeah.
And then like at least in my neighborhood there's a ton of violence, like a ton of gun violence, and we don't actually have a solution besides like don't call the cops. Well, it's like like there have been like shootings in front of my house,
right?
And I've never like been at home for them, but it's like if I was, I probably would call the cops. Because what the fuck are you supposed to do?
I think people that say never call the cops on Twitter are like, I've like run through this scenario with people in person who say that, and I'm like, they're talking about like if someone's playing music too loud or if your car gets broken into and rifled through.
Also, there's a difference between calling the cops and calling an ambulance. Like,
well, but I mean, if you hear like if you see someone like if you see a domestic
what do you do when you see
incident,
like a man beating on his wife?
I would call 911. I would call 911 because that's what we have. Like, and I would rather do that than that woman get murdered. You know what I'm saying? Even though the guy who gets arrested or the wrong guy gets arrested, like, there's no good solution.
but that doesn't mean. Well, there are good solutions, and it's like.
But we don't actually have them right now.
They're. I mean,
for a given
in any mass
incident,
way, there absolutely is not. But there
Right.
are like testings for like community involvement.
No, but I'm talking
and,
about
like,
good
being-
solutions in the immediate.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
No,
those
I
exist
totally
in some
agree.
places, and they would exist in more places if people recognize them as an option.
Right.
And that has to be an option. Also,
No, I
about
totally agree.
about the thing with like older black people liking the cops, doing like brake light clinics and stuff. I have a lot of very like intense, in-depth conversations with older black people about the police, and sometimes that does come up. And even when it does, it's like people feel grateful that there is something that could possibly like stop what they see as like just, you know, violence, senseless or whatever it is, just violence that affects their lives. And they're like, the police are the
Absolutely.
people who do that.
Right.
And most of the time, any sort of like further inquiry like will lead to an understanding that like there are a million things in place that lead to that stuff happening. And they're just like, well, the police are the Band-Aid we currently have.
Totally.
But there is a layer deeper than that I think you can connect with people on that, you know, talks about essentially socialism and like working class solidarity that would replace that need for that Band-Aid being the only thing.
No, I totally agree. I think I totally agree. And I think the problem is we like characterize and like caricature people in this way where it's like, these are the people who believe X, Y, and Z, and all these other people believe this. And I just think it's like way more nuanced than that. And like, frankly, most people are like totally incoherent with their like political beliefs and understanding of
And that's
things.
okay. I mean,
It just it just is.
It just
it's like
exists.
it just is. And if we want to like organize people, like we have to like accept that. And like most people just have not read things that would give them like a political ideology, which makes sense because honestly, reading sucks ass.
And a lot
hate
of the
reading.
people that have read that stuff haven't done actual organizing.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like a fucking Venn diagram. And there's like 10 people in the middle who like understand theory and also like organize and don't just jerk off on the internet.
In defense of the academy, I mean, like when we had Megan Day on, she was like, the
Love
academy.
her. She was my camp counselor.
No fucking
Oh yeah.
shit.
You
are you talking
you can't record this, but we had like
Oh, come on.
we had like a love affair.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were like on to something for a second about the academy, but you know.
Oh, yeah. We can pick that up in a second.
I don't want to go to this bar by myself. I'm having anxiety about it.
We'll come with you. Or some of us will come with you.
Really? Okay.
I feel insane because I took cold medicine and I'm drinking.
Hell yeah.
So I feel very crazy and bad, but I'm going to keep drinking.
I think it'll help.
Yeah, I think that's the way through is to drink more.
I've
Will you
had.
come with me to this bar for one drink,
Okay, yes.
please?
Yes, I will.
That's what I mean about not liking attention. It's like
You need
I don't want to walk into like a room with
alone.
which one are these mine?
Here. Oh, no, I'm wearing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to walk into a room by myself with a bunch of people who I either sort of know in real life or else only know on the internet.
Right.
And I don't actually. Sounds mean, and it's not about you guys, but I don't believe in like internet friendships. Like,
No, I know what you mean.
I'm just like get friend, like
Yeah.
just like get friends in real
Right.
life.
Well, I think internet friendships are cool and fine as long as people like, I don't know. I think it's very cool for people who had trouble making friends in real life who are able to make friends on the internet, but I feel like there should be some sort of extenuating circumstance with that where there was like a good reason other than that you were a
Yeah, I don't.
freaky little weirdo.
I don't think that my radicalization could have taken place without internet friendships because just my world was too small and there was no leftist.
Yeah.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess like I get weirded out when people are like, I don't know. They like meet their internet friends after like 6 years of talking online and that's like their best friend. And I'm just like,
That's hard, yeah.
that's really weird to me. And then I'm like, am I a dick because I have friends or something? I don't know. Like,
Is this you saying you don't want to be friends with us?
no, you guys are my real life friends, but also we like saw each other, like we video chatted. I don't know. And then maybe that's what everyone does with their internet friends, and I just don't do that.
Well, also, I feel like there's a difference between people that like have organic real life friends and then feel comfortable making friends on the internet and people that like rely on the internet. But I also don't want to judge those people necessarily, even though I myself don't want to be them.
I'm not judging you. I just don't want to be like you.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I am judging them.
Well, I think
it's sweet that those little freaks found each other.
I think we need like this sounds corny, but it's like I want to have comrades everywhere because I want to talk about political stuff everywhere, but like friendship is
distinct,
different.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to talk to you about my personal life, I guess, or like I don't care to hear about yours.
Right.
Not you guys, obviously.
Right. See, I don't do political work, so I'm like, you better want to hear about my personal life because that's all
we got.
Yeah.
How do you navigate like people who are your just like actual friends who are not politically engaged? Because at this point, it's so hard for me to fucking turn it off, and I'm like, I don't want to do that to people, but I also kind of feel like maybe I should be doing that to people.
Most of my friends are political, but I have like one group of friends who it's like not. And like my best friend from childhood is like, she'll vote for Bernie Sanders, but she doesn't like do stuff. But they like, I don't know. I think it's kind of fine. I think honestly, every person who does political stuff should have like normie friends to like ground them in reality, because sometimes you can just be like in this like annoying circle jerk of like socialists. And like, I don't know, my normie friends, like they like, I like usually like put out like a voting guide every election and they just like vote exactly how I tell them to. And like, that's awesome because it means like I've created like a handful of new voters
There's
to vote
a
my
Mindy
way.
Isser voting guide.
Yeah.
And also they like have, some sort of like coherent like world where they're like, this is a person I trust because of her actions.
Yeah, they're like, they trust me because we're friends, and also because they're like so not political. They see me like constantly like canvassing and doing shit, and they're just like, you must really care about this because like I would never do something like this, and so if you care about it that much, then I'm gonna like trust that it's the right thing to do. And they're all like good people, like not in a corny way, but like they're all good people. Like one is a teacher, one is like my personal trainer, one is like works at a restaurant. Like none of them are like super rich. Like they have like struggles and problems, and I think it slowly like you can connect the things you care about to like the things in their real life, but it's a lot easier to do that when you already have like a relationship with them and they like trust you and care about you, and they don't see you as like an annoying like door-to-door salesman or something. So I don't know, I think it's good. And also like kind of what I was saying earlier, it's like most people aren't political, so like hanging out and talking to people who are like not political is really good practice for talking about the things that are important to you. I mean,
and like there's this sort of myth that like people are super intractable in their political opinions, which is the case on the fringes, and like we're pretty
for us
intractable, right? Exactly. But like so many people are like I played a lot of video games growing up, and my entire experience was being like, what about this? And people going, I never thought of it that way. Like that was 100% of the interactions that I had. And it was like, and it was almost effortless to like just kind of nudge people left a little bit. And the idea that like you can't reach people is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I think reaching people who are politically unengaged is way, way, way easier
than like libs.
Yes.
Dude,
they're
libs are fucking intractable.
Yeah, dude. It's a death cult.
Yeah.
Man. Like they like really like
Well, do they just like hate Bernie? Is that the thing?
They hate Bernie. I was messaging Chris Curley earlier today, and like we were trying to like figure out what the fuck it was, because like we, you have the same interactions over and over with people like this, and it's like either they think they're part of an elite political class that they're not, or they actually are, and they have a vested interest in that continuing. Or they just want to be the smartest person in the room so badly that they go with this like absurd wonkery shit where everything's overcomplicated,
galaxy brain,
technocratic, and doesn't make any sense.
Well, if we
let's talk about
this
game
person
theory.
and then this and do this, and then in like 6 years we'll have this much money to be able to do this thing.
Yeah, they think of themselves kind of that way, but they really want someone in charge who thinks of themselves that way. Like, oh, I can figure all of this out and point this direction and this direction. So it's like that. And then the last like part of it is just people who are like, oh, there's no chance that people are ever
Right,
gonna,
of real
like,
change. Yeah.
do anything
It's like people
good.
don't have faith.
Yeah, they don't have faith. They have no camaraderie,
Well-
really. Like, they don't believe in anyone else. So they're like,
But they don't believe in themselves.
They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that anyone believes in themselves
Yeah.
enough to actually change things. So they're like, the best we can do is get like
Incrementalism.
kind of okay people in there.
If you think that, I mean, this is the case with
That's most of the people
basically
that
all
I
of the Warren supporters that I'm friends with is like they believe that the United States is fundamentally like they don't believe that the United States is fundamentally rotten or bad, and so like they have trust in these institutions. They're like, oh, these institutions just happen to be currently warped and fucked up, and like we should put them back to the way they were, which was good and fine, right? And like, I don't know, like one of my closest friends who is a Warren supporter, it's like talking because she's not intellectually dishonest, so like talking to her for 2 seconds being like, oh, like I think that this and this. She's like, yeah, ultimately I just think Bernie's too old. Like that's like all it comes down to for her. I don't know.
I
is
honestly don't know
1,000
what to
years
say
old.
about stuff like that. Because, like, yeah, he is old. And it would be cool if, like, AOC was, like, running, which would be less cool for other reasons. But, like, yeah, if there was, like, a young Bernie Sanders, that would be awesome. But, like, something that really touched me about AOC's endorsement of him was, like, she was like, I've been in office for, like, a year. And the amount of pressure that I feel to, like, conform and to,
Dude.
like, lose.
Yeah.
That made me realize, like, Bernie's been in office in some capacity since 1981, and like he's literally always been the same. And like, at least for me personally, and I think this is like a lot of people feel this way, and probably especially women, it's like I want to be liked so deeply.
I would probably be a terrible politician
Dude.
who would become a monster.
Me fucking too. And
Yeah.
I'm like pretty like deep in the way the things I
Same.
believe.
Right.
And it's like Bernie has never wavered, not one time. And it's just
insane.
like the fact that someone can have so much clarity and like
That's
not
what-
care about
yeah.
being isolated and iced out and just like alone. It's like that. And also he's never like a petty little bitch.
No.
Like, when A.D. Barkin like endorsed Elizabeth Warren, he was like such a fucking mensch about it. And he was like so like lucky and glad to be in the struggle with you.
Right.
It's like
Man, he was so much better about that than I would have
than
been.
everyone. No, but it's like he like really has his eyes on the prize in a way that like I definitely don't, because I'm like a petty hater.
Yeah.
And like
And the
so
prize,
many of
not
us.
being the presidency, the prize being socialism.
That,
Yes.
that piece
Yes.
that A.D. Barkin wrote in The Nation,
Nonsense.
too. I mean, it was nonsense the whole way through, but one thing that did come through was that he felt bad for Bernie in it. He's like, listen, I admire it. Like, he's like so good,
think-
and I'm thankful for him, and then a bunch of bullshit afterwards, but it's like, you feel this weird
Well,
guilt about
okay,
this man.
my
Because
theory
he's
on
I don't
that-
get it.
Well, my
I
theory
want to
get
know
it
your
either.
theory.
Well, there's that woman. There was that video that he did for like Now Next or whatever, that thing. And then there's this woman who's working with him who's like a lib, who's his friend from college or something, who's like managing his like, I don't know, ALS campaign. I don't know what to call it. But like, I know he like, I didn't know a lot about him until recently, and I was like, it's weird because everything that he said sounded really, really leftist, and then I saw everyone around him was like kind of very liberal and centrist and like, you know, yes, Queen Elizabeth Warren, and I wasn't
I think you mean
surprised.
Yas.
Yes.
No.
Yas.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Also,
Please mansplain how to yes queen to
I
someone.
mean-
Canceled. Mansplainer.
I cannot imagine myself actually saying that at all.
No, I mean, it's really
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. But I was expecting it only because he was getting all of this attention, and like it seemed like the people that he was surrounded with were like, or surrounding him were very liberal and not like really for Medicare for all. But it is frustrating to see him be like, this is the person to get us to Medicare for all the fastest when she's not even for Medicare for all.
It's very confusing.
It's extremely confusing.
I feel like Cory Booker is the ultimate example of someone who wanted to be like so bad that he became completely
Dude.
politically depraved. Because he seems like a sweetheart. Honestly, I believe to his.
But they're all sweethearts.
No,
but
no,
yeah.
my number one question is
him as
how
mayor of
did he
Newark.
get Rosario Dawson into bed?
Then
You
he
don't
just
think they
doesn't have
fucked?
sex
I don't.
with her?
Oh no way! Are you kidding? There's
Of
no way
course they
fuck.
do. I think they do. I think there's no way a guy that dopey isn't fucking. like that he has to be laying pipe extremely well.
That is so disgusting and disturbing to imagine.
Do you
Cory
think
Booker laying pipe?
he lays pipe?
Stop. No. Say no.
He takes dick pills.
There's no way he's not fucking her.
He do not
because
smash.
There's no way that a guy that uninteresting and unattractive and mediocre.
Dude, he's vegan. Come on.
There's no way a guy like that could be like with someone like that unless he was good at sex.
It's true. Sometimes you do get totally dickmatized, and you're just like, it's all about the dick.
Because if a guy sucks in bed, he has to be hot in another way, or he has to be extremely mysterious and not let me have sex with him.
What about being a legitimate presidential candidate?
But he's
That's
not that
mysterious.
either.
That's boring and horrible.
But he's not
She's
that either.
Rosario
Well,
Dawson.
He's not that to anyone who knows anything, but I don't know.
Dude, it's.
But weren't they
he's-
dating before that?
Yeah, they've been together for a while, and she used to date Eric Andre and be a Bernie bro. So it's like, what a
And
curve.
Eric Andre rules.
Yeah, we
But it's
already
so
did an
funny.
episode about how good Eric Andre is.
You have to delete everything I said in that episode. Was that the Jeff episode?
Probably.
Okay.
What did you say?
Some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll know it when I see it. It's like porn.
Yeah.
Like I'll know it.
Yeah. You'll know exactly.
Yeah.
Who
Were you
said
talking
that?
about having sex with your husband? It's
No.
fine to talk about sex
My
with your
husband
husband.
was on it, and I was talking about having sex with someone else.
Podcast.
Oh, was he upset?
No.
No, dude,
It's
he's
just- I
so
should-
chill. But boy,
so chill.
there were some weird moments on that
There were
episode.
some weird ones.
For
Like
sure.
I'm about to make it weird again.
Bring it on.
But
Make it weird.
Michael sexually rejected me when we were in
Right.
college.
You guys talked about this on the first time
Most
I was on
episodes.
but
here. Do you guys talk about
Jeff,
this a lot?
Yeah, every time.
Maybe
But
you guys
Jeff
should have
brought
like
it
a
up.
weird foursome or something just to like deal
No.
with it. No,
No.
okay.
But Jeff brought it up, and it made Michael extremely uncomfortable. He was like, "Well, you wouldn't fuck my wife," or something like that.
You wouldn't fuck his wife? That's pretty
It's
fucked
pretty
up.
fucked up that you.
pretty-
wouldn't
that's
fuck
pretty
his wife.
fucked up.
Fuck his wife. Come on.
That is somehow the most insulting thing ever to be like, you wouldn't fuck my wife.
No, totally, because it's like it doesn't just say something about your wife, it says something about you.
It's true.
It's like you wouldn't fuck the woman I
Yeah.
chose.
That's why.
Who do you think you are?
Like, even if I was like the most demure person about it, I could never be like a threesome couple because I like couldn't. I think
Just
getting
imagining
personally
you
rejected-
being demure about anything is so funny.
No, I've never had a threesome and I want to so badly.
I've had a terrible threesome where
Ooh.
I was the guest star and it was
Dude, being the guest
Tell me
star
more.
is the way you get the most dicked over, not sexually, just emotionally.
So her name, anyway. Let's not start with that.
Her social security
Social
number.
security number. No, so she was a lady that I used to hit on when I was in high school, and I like basically the condition was always that I had to hook up with her and the guy that she was with.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the first time I did cocaine was when I was with her, hanging out with her.
I hate cocaine.
I loved it the first time, and after that, it's never been as good.
Right. Can never get that high.
You are
back.
literally a Dare commercial.
I know.
Yeah.
Just constantly chasing
But-
the high until
But
I'm
I
like
will say
homeless.
I do. I would, even though I have a cold and it would do nothing, it would just get caught in my boogers. I would do cocaine right now. But
You gotta snort those boogers.
I love snorting powder. I love it.
I have caffeine pills that are powder if you want.
I actually like to snort drugs too. It makes me feel like I'm actually like doing drugs in a way
Yes.
that like eating something. I'm just like,
Right.
did I-
Extremely
it's like,
glamorous.
did I even
in a
do
movie.
it?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I need to eat it again because I forget if I actually did it. And then I'm like, whoa, I took way too much Molly. Like,
But yeah, no. So after a long time, I ended up like basically being like, no, I don't want to have sex with you and this weird guy, because it went through two guys. So I didn't want to have sex with her and her first boyfriend, and then we were still friends, and she ended up dating another guy. So by the time she was with the next guy, I got super drunk one Mardi Gras. His name was Mike, and he was like 41 when I was 18. And
Awesome, dude.
yeah,
That
so
fucking
cool.
rules.
Yeah, and,
wow.
And she was
So
24.
fucked up.
Anyway,
Disturbing.
I was so bad at sex by the time it actually happened that I thought I was fingering her vagina, and I was fingering her asshole for like 30 minutes.
Hell yes, dude. That's amazing.
And
she didn't say anything.
She just
no,
she just thought you were down.
eventually she did. She was just like, wow, you were really into my butthole. It's like, what? I didn't know I was doing that.
Oh my god.
And I
Dude, this is so
also
good.
started.
We're
Is
also
this one of-
probably
wait, is
playing
this
like
what
a
you
traumatic
got your
I,
experience.
period?
I got
in the
my
middle.
period in the middle.
Is this one of the things you think about when you're in the grocery store?
No. I'm not ashamed of this. I feel like Mike should think about this when he's at the grocery store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he should. He should kill himself.
Yeah.
in the grocery store.
No, that's really fucked up. He
Yeah,
could kill
and
himself.
he ended up okay. So thank God this woman found a great guy, a really dorky guy who looks a lot like Chris Curley. But
You had to point at me.
Who looks nothing like Benjamin.
Benjamin brought up Chris Curley, who went to college with my brother and one of my best friends.
Oh, really? Well, anyway, the woman who this was with ended up finding a really, really nice man who's wonderful, and they have a baby now. And
They live here?
Yeah. And Mike.
Do you ever see her?
Sometimes, and she's really sweet to me. But Mike was a piece of shit who ended up like hitting her and being really, really crappy. And then she was like, Mike just hates me because, my mom's really mad about that time that he was on a bunch of drugs and abused me. I was like, yeah, I'd be mad too. I get it.
God, women just hold grudges.
Yeah. But anyway, Mike
fucking
sucked.
petty.
And I guess I'm kind of embarrassed that I fucked Mike when I was a tiny child, but I'm not that embarrassed.
No, you shouldn't be.
No,
he
Mike
should be.
should. Yeah, Mike should.
And
No, the only
Miranda-
thing you could possibly be embarrassed about is like the asshole pussy.
That's embarrassing.
thing,
That's
yeah.
extremely
I
embarrassing.
think
But
that's a
just
very funny
that.
story. That
Yeah.
And a lot of men have done the same. And honestly, I bet they don't feel embarrassed.
Exactly.
Also, I think they're being insincere about their confusion. Whereas
Often,
Mary
I
Devon
think
here,
that is the case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
I just had
Doesn't
no
know.
idea.
yeah, the whole oops wrong whole thing. That's like a 1 in 150.
Okay, we know.
Yeah.
We've all had sex with men, unfortunately.
All right.
I just like
I'm throwing him under the bus. That's what I'm saying.
I was just so
Dude, I'm a good
drunk.
one, so back up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just so
That is
drunk.
a fucked up move.
Yeah, it's fucked
like
up.
that's insane.
Well, also,
People
it's
do
like
that.
it wouldn't be fun for you either. I mean, I've had consensual and non-consensual anal sex, and like I feel strongly that it is. I don't find it enjoyable either way.
I
but-
hate anal sex.
But it was definitely more enjoyable,
same.
and definitely more enjoyable for the man when
Yeah.
it was like planned for, and there
Right.
was like lube, and it
Right.
wasn't just like jamming a large thing into a small thing, which
No.
is like not fun for
no,
anyone.
it's not fun.
even men.
No, and I am so. No one can say I'm anti-butthole because I am very pro other people's
You've
buttholes.
spent at least 30 minutes in at least one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, not just Miranda's, but also
She's been in many buttholes.
I've been in many buttholes.
Many buttholes.
I've had
and-
many people in my butthole, and I think it's fine. I think it's a normal part of sex.
I hate
Not penis,
in mine.
not a penis.
No, not
but
penis. A
other
finger,
stuff.
it's fine.
Yeah.
But like a penis feels like a knife is ripping me open. Even
That's
a
not
small
been my
penis.
experience. I felt like I just feel like there are times
You feel
when
like
I'm
you're gonna poop.
Yeah, like there
Yeah.
are times where I'm like turned
Yeah.
on enough that I'm like, okay, like this could be like sexy and enjoyable, especially because they like fucking like go crazy for it. But it's like I'm shitting right now. Like, the entire
I may not be
I know.
shitting shit, but I'm shitting something.
I'm shitting and I cannot relax enough to enjoy this. And I was dating this guy for like 5 years before my last partner, and he was really into it, so we would do it all the time. And the whole time I'd be like, I'm shitting, take it out. And he'd be like, there's no shit here. Can we just like continue? And so I'd be like, okay, sure. And so we'd go back to it, and then just like again, it'd be like, I'm shitting.
Shitting.
It
feels like
I would
shitting.
never be shitting, but the like
You gotta be shitting me.
the feeling remained.
I don't understand. I knew one girl in high school who was like, "Yeah, that's the only way I can come is from anal sex."
She's
and I was
lying.
like, "Yeah, that's a lie. You've never come in your life. There's no way you've ever had an orgasm."
That's a sneeze.
Yeah, you just don't know what coming is.
The only way I could come is if I look in a bright light.
See, I knew what coming was before I'd ever come during sex because
Yeah.
I had made myself come since I was like a tiny child, which is gross, but whatever I had. Like,
That's not gross. Masturbation is extremely healthy and normal.
right. But I did it before I was like probably 6.
You didn't know it was like sexual.
Exactly.
You're just like, this feels nice.
And I don't think I came with another person till I was like 22, and I started having sex when I was like 14. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just because like
I mean, I think that's normal, but
yeah, I think it's normal for women.
the tension of being like I have to be this relaxed to come is like so insane.
Yeah.
But the idea of coming from anal sex, I'm like, you must have the most like sensitive G-spot in the fucking world, because I can't even come from vaginal penetration. So the idea of coming from anal penetration is just insane. It's like, yeah.
I can basically come like anytime, any place. Like,
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really lucky, but also not lucky because it's like kind of ruins. It depends. Sometimes I can come and be like, okay, I like came and now I want to keep coming, keep it going. But sometimes I can come and be like, this is disgusting. Like I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
Like get away from me.
you
and
get
never
the
talk to me again.
post-coital
Yeah.
Yeah.
clarity.
Depending on who it's with.
Yeah.
If it's with someone gross, I'm like,
Oh, I know.
regret it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Are you lying?
I was just thinking about a gross guy that I have sex I had sex with that comes to comedy shows now.
Ew.
Yeah.
But he's like,
Was that motherfucker who wouldn't shut up?
Yes.
God damn.
He's
that dude
like
Sometimes you have
6'5"
hot
and
sex
really
with
ugly.
disgusting men.
He's
and
really
it's
tall, so I don't blame you. But goddamn, he is horrible.
So he was like 100 pounds heavier when we had sex, and so I expected, since I was like way hotter than him physically, for him to like fall in love with me.
Dude, this is the story of my life.
Yes.
This is what we were talking about in the car. It's
Yes.
like you think that being the hotter person in a sexual relationship gives you more power.
Nope.
It gives you
Not at
less
all.
power,
No.
honestly, because it's like, why would this hot woman fuck me? She must be like a loser
Yes.
or fucked up. So I'm just going to treat her however because I'm ugly and a piece of shit. And she still like wants to suck my dick.
Exactly,
So-
exactly. And he's like really into comedy, so he still comes to comedy shows. And I don't think that he thinks I'm funny, which is even worse.
Oh my God.
It's all terrible.
I have to mark it, but I need to know who it is.
I won't be able to find a picture of him online because he doesn't have. He doesn't.
What is
have,
his name? Oh,
You know him?
Yeah, he came to the fucking. All right, I'm marking. it.
Stav show.
He
Or-
came to the stop show. Yeah, I used to hang out with that dude. Not like it was incidental. We went to the same coffee shop a lot.
yeah, but he's the worst.
Yeah, I would bum a lot of cigarettes from him. So
Yeah, but didn't
So
you
that's
find him,
which is praxis.
But didn't you find him kind of like charming in a way? No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, yeah, he was not miserable to hang out with.
No.
for sure.
I enjoyed talking to him, and then one day I was like, I should fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hate every time I've had that thought was
Yeah.
always wrong.
I know, it was always wrong. And it was always like a guy that I was not that attracted to. And then the only attraction I had to them was when they didn't call me. I was
Right,
just
you
like,
have to
why are you
prove
calling
it."
me? Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, it is like a sickness.
dude, it's just like anytime you meet a man who like loves trout fishing in America, it's just like don't do it.
The guy that I was
I'll
seeing
cut that.
for a
He won't
while, which
listen.
I like don't even think I liked him that much, but he like rejected me, and so that was like the
Yeah.
thing that made me like him so much more.
Exactly.
Than I.
Dude,
It's like
Fuck
who would
that
reject
guy.
me?
Literally fuck anyone that's ever rejected Mindy.
Thank
Agreed.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep that.
Yeah.
amen.
Thank
Yeah.
you. No amen from over here.
I don't know, man. Maybe you did something. Yeah, of course. Amen. Jesus Christ.
I
of
was so
course.
nice and generous, and I'm a very skilled and generous lover. Just so everyone knows.
I am terrible at sex. I don't know the difference between a vagina and a butthole.
I didn't then. I don't now. I don't care to learn.
Wait, have either of you two ever had a threesome?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
Of course.
Was it good or not good or medium in the middle?
Well, I mean, there was a period in my young life where there was a group of my friends who just all fucked each other together, and it was weird, and there was a lot of strange consequences to it, and sometimes it was awesome, and sometimes it was not the best thing ever.
Sounds horrifying,
I mean, I think we all...
but cool.
we also-
Horrifying, but cool.
None of us hate each other.
I'm not judging.
You know, we all like came
Okay,
out like...
look, dude. No disrespect, but I've never met anyone. I've never met a man who said that they had a fun threesome who wasn't horrible at picking up on social cues. Like every time
No, I
someone's
mean,
like, "Dude, it rule," there's just like, "Oh yeah, you can't even tell when
Wait,
someone's
really?
sneezing."
There was a
Because
bunch
I
of-
want to have one because it seems fun, but is it just not fun? Everyone's lying.
There was a bunch
No,
of group
I don't
sex,
think that's the
and
case,
some of the
but-
group sex was weird, but the threesome time was
I don't get
super fun.
I don't get group sex. I mean, 3 is even there.
So
and
it's
like, where does
plenty.
everything
Yeah.
go? Group sex, it's like many people are going to be left out at some
Sure.
point, and like.
You need
There's
like
a
a
lot of
chalkboard, like
genitals.
it's Goodwill Hunting,
Yeah,
and you're
it's
just
like,
like
that's a-
connecting.
it's a
I
lot
think
of
I might.
genitals.
I think I would like to be the person that was left out for a second, though, because I need a lot of time to recuperate.
No, but then
I
you're
would
like,
be
am
so
I the ugly
worried
one?
about-
Like, am I the
Yeah,
am I the least hot one?
I
here?
100% would be the ugly one, but that's not what I would be thinking of. It would be like, is everyone else having a nice time?
Yeah,
Like,
no, dude,
yeah,
that
yeah.
would so be me. It'd
Yeah.
be like, I just want to make sure everyone else is like,
Yeah.
I
Big.
mean, that was basically my role in it, and like my
Oh yeah, you're a 100% a person regulator, like me.
my girlfriend was like the star of the show, and I was
wait, your current girlfriend?
no,
Okay, your
So-
college girlfriend.
I did not go to college.
Your young time girlfriend.
Young
Young
time.
Young time.
Dude, I am fucking buried by young time loans. It's not even funny. I just took out mad loans and was young.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Good for her the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
God bless her. Yeah. My man over here is compassionate.
But then I think, yeah,
You are.
No,
You are.
It's
Yeah.
it's strange for me to think of people any other way, but that's how most people are.
Benjamin has never felt threatened by anyone other than Mary Devin. That's the
I'm not sexually threatened. by her.
no, just comedically. That's what I'm saying. You've never felt threatened by anyone.
No, you felt threatened comedically by many people. I don't mean that mean. That sounded mean. I meant it like.
There are many other funny comedians.
Yeah.
I forgot that you had a rough one recently. Benjamin,
I didn't know what to say to that.
Benjamin vacillates between thinking he's God and thinking he's the dumbest.
We are literally the same person.
Yeah.
We are so alike.
Yeah.
It is a hard road to be on, my friend.
I have 2 modes, and it's mania and depression. I think it might be, but like absolute mania.
No,
and,
same.
Yeah.
No,
Same.
all right. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I agree that you have 2 poles, but you don't have main. Like you're completely sane.
Yeah, you've never been manic.
Right. You never jumped off a building because you thought you could fly, but you have been like, I'm.
Yeah, but
good.
mania
I
presents
thought I was
itself in
the
other
savior
ways.
of humanity.
You were on
until
drugs.
I was 22.
You were allergic to
You
your
were a
antidepressants or some shit.
What was it?
Yeah, you had a solipsistic.
No, I had a solipsistic
You were
break
solips.
once. But
You had
Wait,
solids.
are you? I'm not saying this in a mean way. Are you on medicine for bipolar disorder?
no, I don't think I am actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's.
Can I just say?
I've spent a lot of
okay.
time with him. I don't think he's actually bipolar.
Okay, I just not
But-
to be like I'm not a doctor. I'm not, but I have experienced a lot of people with manic depression. And I think a lot of people have it and they think it's this thing that it's like more extreme than the thing they have. And sometimes it just is a thing they have. And so if maybe you think that you have it, there is.
Are you manic? Do you have manic depression?
No, but someone very close to me does.
Okay.
And in my family. So I have experienced it. And it
Gotcha.
doesn't look like. It looks like someone spending like a bunch of money in one
Right.
sitting, like buying socks because they're like, I need socks. Which
Benjamin's never
sounds
thought
really
that he
crazy.
needed an item from the.
Okay,
Especially of.
It just,
No, I know.
No,
I know.
sometimes
But there's
I spend
also-
all $40 I have on socks, but it's because I need socks. If that's
saying,
mania, that's mania, but that might just be
mental
capitalism.
illness looks really different for everyone,
Well,
and I
for
have
sure.
met many of it. So
There's also like.
I have all the. I have it all. So.
There's also like cyclothymia, which is like less intense highs and
The only
lows,
thing
and I think
ever
that's
got
what you probably
diagnosed with, which is, it was such a. I met this fucking psychiatrist for like 4 seconds, and she
Yeah.
was like, "You have dysthemia." And I was
Oh yeah,
like,
that's what mine told me. Was it the same one?
no, not
Not
the-
Heather. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is. Have we gone over that? We had the
same
shrink
therapist and
on
we,
accident
Wait,
for a while.
dude, seriously? Do
Yeah.
you guys talk about each other?
Well, I no longer go
We
to
like
therapy.
both stopped at the same time too, which is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had the same therapist. She was pretty cool, but I honestly
She
just
broke her leg, so it's
Yeah,
like,
she
can you
broke her
really
leg.
trust her?
No, realizing that a therapist as a person is so disorienting
It
and
is.
disgusting.
And then
It's
she
like-
told me about being a runner, and I was like, "Fuck you, bitch! I don't want to hang out with a runner."
Well, then I'm like, no. When I hear
run.
about people who exercise,
not a
I'm like,
runner.
No. I'm like, okay, do you have an eating disorder? Because in which case you cannot possibly
Right.
treat me for my like body related
Right.
problems. Or are you just like into like athleticism because it's like good? In which case, like we have nothing in common, and I don't trust you.
See, mine was really great because every time I would like fixate on food, she was like, "Well, you don't have a weight problem or an eating disorder, so it feels like this is unnecessary thought on your part." And I was like, "That's a good answer, but I would like to talk more about how I feel guilty for eating food. Thank you."
MD's like, I had
Wait,
a
that
great
sounds like a
therapist who
bad
told me to
answer.
shut up like
Yeah, that
every
sounds
time.
like a really bad answer.
Yeah, I was like, okay, because she would always be like, "You don't have a weight problem," and I was just like,
No, that's
"Well."
fucked up.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up. That's like actually the opposite of. I've
yeah,
been in
the-
eating disorder recovery for like 15 years now.
Yeah.
And like that's like the opposite of what you're supposed to say.
Her last name is Self,
Hell yes, dude.
Dr. Self.
Dr. Self.
Dr.
No, she's
Self.
not a doctor.
Yeah,
It was a
Mr. Self, like Mr. Pibb.
Wait, is it just
She's
like
she never told me she wasn't a doctor.
oh, is she just like a weird like I'm a therapist now kind
Yeah.
of gal?
Yeah.
I'm a life coach.
I'm a life
Well,
coach.
no, she's a you can
No,
be
no,
a therapist
she's-
without being a doctor.
You could
She has a PhD.
No, she was getting her PhD.
she's
dude.
Oh, was
PhD
she young
candidate.
or
This
old?
rules.
Young.
And
I would not want a young hot
and
person
the
to be my
fucking
therapist.
lady
Was she hot?
Not bad. Yeah.
Hot enough. We know who she is,
was
so we're gonna look her up.
She had like red hair and freckles, which is not my thing. Because
I can be into that.
My mom
same.
has red hair and freckles, so that's not a.
Yeah,
Right, you don't
that's
have, like, a
exactly
mom-
why
a
I
mom
might.
sex thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't look anything like my father.
I don't like. I'm not attracted to like red hair freckle people, but she's objectively.
I'm not attracted to red-haired men, but women,
Yeah,
I
same.
like. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, if a red-haired woman came up to me right now, I would probably not say no, but it's not what I would seek out. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Just any red-haired woman.
Absolutely.
That's
Any red-haired
okay.
woman.
Can I say
I never
something?
turned down an amuse-bouche, but I wouldn't order it. Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel about pie, like any kind of sweet treat. Like I wouldn't order it, but I would never turn it down.
Yeah.
Like because you asked me about the apple
the
pie.
apple
that you
pie.
gave me.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like,
I
it
was
very
connecting
good.
the dots, but I don't think anyone else was.
It was
so.
very good, but I wouldn't order it.
Yeah.
Okay, but can I say something? The last time I was on the show, and also now, I feel like we've talked too much about anal sex and like related sex things, and I want to open space for us to talk about something. Not that anal sex isn't important, very important, but something else important, not sexual. And also, you can cut this if you want, but if you don't want to cut it, anyone who's listening to this could know that I'm not like a sex-driven person. I actually think sex
Mindy
is
hates
disgusting.
sex.
I hate
We
sex.
know that you
We
hate
know you hate
sex.
sex.
Everyone who
Let's
listens to
talk
this
about
knows
it.
that you hate
Let's
sex.
talk about the GM strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's bad.
See, but even
Who were the hottest people you met on the picket line?
Oh, well,
The
that's
cognitive
where I met
distance
my
here is
new
pronounced.
like paramour, who I was telling you guys about.
Is he a
Oh,
UAW?
the
Okay. You guys, all right.
He's not a
I love you-
UAW member, but he's a union member who came to the strike a lot.
I love you very much. Please try to not constantly say shit that I have to cut. So
No,
that
you don't
there's
have
some...
to cut this. You
Okay,
don't have
cool,
to cut
cool,
this
cool, cool.
part. If you're listening, I was sharing a private story that had to be cut. It's private, but it's about my new paramour. I don't know. Do people use this word? I like it.
If they're an emo band, then yes.
Illicit-
Otherwise,
Does
no.
that mean illicit lover?
No, it just means
No,
like a
like-
romantic
Oh, okay.
person.
Yeah, it's like
My crush.
It's like Parasite,
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, I don't
with
like
love.
when people say crush in like a. I think that's
Like
that's
as a
like I'm
grown-up?
30 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
My crush, whatever. I met him at the GM strike.
Yeah, why
but
say
he's
crush
not
when you could
a
say stranger
GM
who makes me
employee.
horny? Yeah.
Yeah, stranger who makes me horny. Disgusting. But it's not a stranger now, so friend who makes me horny. Anyway, no one is hot who works at General Motors. At least who I met. I rolled up, me and my friend rolled up like the first real night. Like they went on strike midnight technically on a Monday. And so we rolled up Monday night. And they were like really confused at first because it's like it's in the Philly suburbs where there's like not a lot of like not a big labor movement or whatever. And we just like rolled up and we were like so like Joe, which is like I guess a Philly specific term about like being hype. People say hype here. Okay. Being Joe, being like, we want to help, we want to support, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, what the fuck? Who are these people? Like, who are these like women? And I think that they were much more likely, like they became warm to us very quickly, I think, because we were like fairly attractive, like young women.
Yeah.
And if we were like men, they'd be like, this is weird. And like, who are these like guys? Are they like from GM? And that's like something they thought. They were like, are these like people sent from GM? And finally they like trusted us or whatever. But I'm thinking a lot about being like a woman trying to organize like mostly male workers because it's like on one hand, it is more likely that they'll like let you like in and like talk to you and like trust you, but maybe they won't respect you in the same way. And like I still have relationships with a lot of them and you know, we talk a lot and we're trying to like organize this State of the Union with DSA where it's like union members talk about like the state of their union. So we're trying to get these UAW members to talk about theirs. So it's like I'm in contact with a lot of them and they are mostly men and like we like a lot of them, some of them I text almost every single day, but there is this level of like flirtation. I don't want to say it's flirtation because it's not mutual. It's just like,
That's something that occurred to me, like reading your tweets about it, was just like when I once asked my girlfriend, like, what do you think the next sort of frontier of like social justice is? Like, who are the people who are being oppressed that no one is paying attention to their oppression or whatever? And she's like, people who are not conventionally attractive. Like that's the whatever. Like privileged discourse is totally diseased, but like attractive person privilege is a thing.
But it's also in this case
It's also-
kind of a detriment.
But
is it?
It's both.
It's useful.
both.
I think there are
Also-
ways that you have to just trust human connection wherever it exists, work from it towards a common goal. And like sometimes those human connections that you have are based on things that aren't cool, really. Like we live in a society that's pretty diseased on the
We
way-
live in a society.
We live in society. No, but like
Dude, before you guys showed up,
we
were
view
talking about-
everybody like as a potential exchange of like, what can I get from you? What can I get from
transaction,
you?
yeah.
Totally.
And
no,
like attraction is such a part of it, but like if we have to work from where we're at, and like if you can use those tools without straight up manipulating someone
Right.
towards a, like,
I
a better
totally
goal,
agree.
then go
I
for
mean,
it.
I've been really on this like tip and like Philly GSA stuff, and also I talk about it on the internet. It's like there's this like trade union bar kind of in my neighborhood in South Philly that's like all like older union members who like sometimes GSA people go there to watch the Eagles game. It's like a smoking bar. It's like very fun. It's cheap, whatever.
You still have smoking bars?
Yeah. Oh, a few, but yeah.
You lucky duck.
Yeah, but it's like it's like mostly men there. So it's like when there is a young woman who's like kind of hot, they like go insane because they also, it's like culturally very different. Like for them, it's very normal to be like, I want to like buy you dinner. Like no man my age would like come up to you
Right.
or me and be like, I want to take you on a date. You know, like
Right.
it's just different. And so you have like you literally have an organizing opportunity to talk about Bernie Sanders. And so like I go there sometimes with like other GSA people and like we talk about we bring like labor for Bernie stuff, but it's like I've been telling people like we should have like an actual like concerted effort of like attractive women in Philly GSA to go there and talk to men, and people are like, that's like problematic or whatever. But it's like, is it? Who cares? Like, we want to talk about Bernie. They want to talk to us. Like, we're all getting what we want. Like, some guy there was like, I don't like Bernie Sanders, but I like you. So, like, I'll take you out to dinner and you can tell me about Bernie. And I didn't do it, but, like, I should have. And, like, we all should be doing I'm going to go back. We should all be doing, it's like, I don't know. I think both things are true. Like, it's true that being hot sucks. It's also probably true that being not hot sucks. And
Probably.
not to be like, I don't know, because I'm hot. But it's like, I'm actually writing this thing right now.
As a rich person, being rich sucks, and not being rich like might suck. I don't know. Jury's out, but
Okay, it's like
It's not the same as
I'm-
being rich.
But it's also like there are so many gradients
you're
of
right.
hot. It's like, yeah, I'm like attractive, but it's not like people are getting in like car
I
accidents.
feel bad
over
for
it,
my
you know?
friend. So another friend that we all know, like, told me to shut the fuck up when I said this, but I was like, I feel bad for this female friend because she has like, she's so hot that like every time I'm out with her, there's a million guys trying to like cut off their fucking dicks to talk to her,
Right.
and I'm just like, leave her alone. And she doesn't actually seem to mind because I think that she's used to it.
dude, who was it?
Diana.
She is so beautiful, and
Yeah.
I could totally see how it would be oppressive.
But also
Yes,
she has like
she's that-
literally
Yeah.
I mean, not that this makes you more beautiful, but she's physically, facially gorgeous. She has literally a 20-inch waist. Like, she makes Audrey Hepburn look fat. Like, I was looking at her the other day. Like, I was in line next to her at a coffee shop, and I was just, like, looking at her waist, and I was like, I do not understand how there's organs and bones inside of her.
What? Just say it. I'll
Just
cut
say
it.
Let's get one more in there. All right.
What?
An organ.
One more
He was-
Oregon. High five.
yeah.
Good joke. It is a genuinely good joke.
It would have been a much better joke
If you had
just
said it into the
You should've
microphone.
just said it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I have one acquaintance like that who like I can't be around because it's like too much, but who
Right.
is like totally like both like no one could think she was not hot. Like,
Right.
no one would be like, oh, that's not my thing.
No.
Like
There's
the
no one that's-
perfect
yeah.
body and face, no skin problems, everything good.
Yeah.
And it's rare to have all of those things. It's like you're hot, I'm hot. A lot of women are hot, but it's not
most
like
of them.
it's not something that I feel like if I applied for a job, someone would be like, you're too hot to be
Right,
taken
exactly,
seriously, that kind of
exactly,
thing.
right.
But I'm writing this thing about how women, it's like a total catch-22. Like women have to do all of these things to look professional for work. But also, if you're too hot, you're like fucked because
Right.
no one takes you seriously. And it's totally true. I mean, I imagine it's true just because of how I'm treated as a regular hot person, which also sounds like fucked up to say, but just
No,
is.
it doesn't.
It's like
It doesn't sound
it's not
fucked up.
that hard to be like hot, like to be regular hot.
Yeah.
You have to be very genetically blessed to be like super hot, but just to
Right.
be like hot, it's not that hard.
Right.
I agree.
I agree.
Like most people are like, yeah, they're hot.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I would have sex with most people.
I would not, as you all know.
Yeah, but yeah.
But that's because of your weird your
Pathology.
your pathology.
The thing that's because of the thing that's wrong with you.
No, just kidding. But like, even if you wouldn't have sex with someone, you would be like,
Yeah, they're attractive.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Women, definitely. Men,
Same. Same. I feel like there's only a few women I know that I'm just like, your face is so symmetrical and your body's so insane that it's like hard to look at you. Yeah.
Yeah, I have friends like that. It is hard. And then I'm like, am I being a hater because I'm jealous? Like, is that...
That is absolutely why I'm being a hater. But then I'm also just like, I can't tell if I'm jealous of you or if I want to have sex with you.
Right. It's definitely a combination.
It's both. Yeah.
I think this is how I feel about tall men. And as someone who is 4'2", that's most men. So, you know.
Yeah, no, but it is true. It's really unfair because, like, there are many men that I've slept with that are, like, not hot, but they're tall. And I'm just like, that meme is totally true. It's like, are they hot or are they tall?
Yep.
It's real. It's a
Yeah.
real meme.
It's real.
It's the number one thing to be if you're a guy, I think.
Tall.
But that's a thing for men.
disagree.
I mean, it sucks if you're a short dude and have like a thing about it. That could suck. But for women, there are so many other things that you have to have. And men, it's just like you have to just be tall, which like if you're not tall, you're not tall. But for women, it's like you have to have like big boobs and a small waist and like a big ass and a flat stomach and like those are most of the things.
Yeah.
And a nice face, which like you really can't do anything about if you don't have.
Right.
But it's like the body stuff. There's like this idea that you can like fix it through like exercise or whatever when actually you really can't.
No. You're pretty much going to be the body that you are, like, unless you change your life to the point where you don't really have a life other than like regulating your food and exercise.
And the thing is like, at least in my experience, like my weight has fluctuated like 20 or so pounds throughout my adult life. And it's like, I've never been like, wow, no one likes like,
Yeah.
wow, like no one wants to have sex with me. Like that's never been I've never been like, I'm too ugly for someone to want to have sex with me. Not that people who are fat or fatter than me are ugly, but that's like the way you're taught to feel about weight
exactly.
and stuff.
I mean, the socializing worked, but I don't think I've ever met someone where I'm like, they don't want to have sex with me.
Wow, must be nice to be a man. But that's what I'm saying. I've never like
Specifically Benjamin.
I've never shot my shot with someone because I'm like, even if objectively I think they want to have sex with me or maybe would want to have sex with me, the fear that
Yeah.
they wouldn't.
I've shot my
You've never
shot with
once shot
so
your
No, I did. I have. Actually, this is a new thing for me.
Michael. There's something you have to cut.
I'm sorry.
Mindy's at it again.
Am I the only person who does this?
No, I do this all the time.
Andy does it. But no, it's okay. You don't have. I don't believe in filters. I believe that that's what editing is for.
Yes.
So don't sweat it.
Except for you tell me all the time that I should say less stuff.
Do I?
Yeah, so that you
Because
don't
it's
have
too
to-
much work.
Well, sometimes you create a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because okay, so here's the thing. It's not that you say. It's not that you guys are saying stuff that I have to cut. It's that you don't take a breath between the thing that you have to cut and the rest of the episode. So I just have to be like, it's just like,
I know what
you're just like, this motherfucker sucks complete ass. Anyway, Bolivia, and like there's just no transition. Anyway, but the Batman sound helps. Do you know?
Oh,
this?
yeah,
Do
you
you know the
did it.
sound?
No.
Between
Wow,
scenes.
it both sounded really different.
Okay, you know what?
It's diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. Come on. We're very clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, you did it better.
Oh. Yeah, no, I do think that I don't. Oh, okay. Yep, I know that.
Oh, yeah,
I think
I got it
that
wrong, but go ahead.
I think that being ugly is not really a thing, but I think being fat as a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's like the thing that's like possible to like discriminate against because there are a lot of things you can do if you're like, I mean, because like what is beautiful or whatever is so subjective.
Mm-hmm.
It's like about like height and like symmetry and like proportions and like facial features or whatever. But there's a lot you can do to make yourself look better, even if you're not like naturally beautiful or whatever. But like weight is something that you can't actually hide. And for women, that is like the thing that is the thing that it's like acceptable to be like, I hate fat people.
I got the funniest message while I went to go pee because I have like alerts off or whatever. I messaged this dude who I'm going on tour with in April about like setting up like dates or whatever.
On tour with?
Steve Gillespie.
No.
Benjamin's been being like, let's go on tour forever, and then he just goes on tour without even consulting us.
I mean, I would love to go. Do you guys want to go on tour? Because
No, I can't go on tour.
Okay, exactly.
But we want to be asked. You know.
I have.
Yeah, you have a lot.
Fever.
Can I?
You are warm.
I think that you're okay. Let me see.
No, you're absolutely warm.
Well, I mean, MD gets worked up.
You are warm
Okay.
for sure. You may have a fever.
I probably don't.
Your hand's pretty warm.
Steve Gillespie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I messaged him about like very, like, so if we leave here from at this time, we might be able to get to this show that pays this much. And he just messaged me back. I ate 5 grams of mushrooms. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I was like, I love you. Man.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
going to be a good tour.
That's amazing.
That's
I'm like, how did you even get it together? Like, you didn't have
Write
to
an
get
email,
back to me. Dude.
right.
You could have waited like a day even. Like,
No, that is a very strong email game. Like I don't respond to an email if I feel like weird.
Icky.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or if I feel fine. Honestly, I don't respond to emails, but and I've lost many friends that way. What you doing?
I'm looking at my Facebook.
He also
looking at Julie on this ice chest.
I accidentally told Julie that I loved her earlier, so we're friends.
She
accidentally.
No, I'm just effusive, and she was DMing me about the place I got food poisoning from, and I was like, I love you. I feel like we're kindred spirits. I feel like we missed our chance to be friends. And she was like, nice about it. But I do like Julie. If for no other reason than she thinks Benjamin is not funny, and that's just great to me.
This is a hard day. I'm having a bad day.
I think you're funny, but it's very liberating to meet someone who doesn't think that you're funny because they're so hard to find.
Yeah, it's not like I can't find rooms full of them at a time.
Dude. Yeah.
Are you okay?
No, I'm sick. I'm absolutely sick. I've just been getting drunk, but I feel like I'm definitely sick.
Who's the comedian who like hates to crush? Is it Chris Rock?
I don't know.
There's something to that of like if you are a comedian who never bombs, then you are a coward and you've never taken a risk and you're pandering. And like I'll cut this because it probably makes you feel weird and embarrassed, but like the jokes that you're telling that are not getting responses are things that are close to your heart that like are objectively funny and you're just working them out, and they take time, and if devoting 3 hours to something that doesn't get a response feels bad, it does feel bad, but like you're working it out.
Yeah, but just talking about me specifically, like it doesn't matter what I'm talking. It's all about like the setting the tone with the rest of the room.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What did I miss?
You leave us alone for
did I
like
miss?
2 seconds.
And we
We
start
talk
standing
about
about-
mushrooms and comedy.
We start standing about
Two things
talk
I know
ups.
nothing
Standing about talk up comedy.
Well, I just wanted to say that when I was peeing, I felt that kind of anxiety that you feel sometimes about like talking too much. So
No, dude, you're so. We said
No,
this on the
you're
last
okay.
episode. Like,
don't say something nice. Don't.
I
You
actually
can say
think
it to me in private.
I think this is one of the worst things that
You're
you
a
can.
true friend.
I was about to say one of the worst things you can say to a person, which is you could have a podcast. You would be really good at it because you're very good at talking and being a good.
I will
hang.
never have a podcast.
I know.
Don't worry.
I know, but
No offense.
This
It's
is
just
your
not for me.
podcast. It just comes out once every 6 months. Yeah.
we need to make this a better podcast that comes out more often.
All right.
It's a great
Ooh,
podcast. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
Do you actually listen to it? It's okay. if you don't.
Sometimes I listen to some of them. I can't listen to all of them.
No, of course
Not
not.
like I'm
duh.
so busy, but it's like
I don't
there's so many
listen to all of
podcasts.
them. I know. No,
Yeah.
listen to more podcasts. I listen to mostly TrueAnon now.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
kind of taken over my
Okay,
life.
I'm gonna
Do you
cut-
listen to TrueAnon?
Wait, didn't
No.
the other Yenta go on that?
They did, I think. I
Do they still go
only
by-
listen to this podcast now, and honestly, only because you guys asked me to go on. And I have to know what this podcast is about before I go on it. So I was like, oh, this is funny and cute, and I like them. So I just like sometimes listen to it. And then my friend Dan Denver's podcast, The Dig.
Who the fuck
The paw.
is doing this?
Dude, I mean, okay, it is a trope of American cinema of like the way that you communicate that people are about to fuck is like some dude like
Touching the
lower back, and then the
That's true.
camera
Yeah.
fucking zooms in on it. It's like such a
It's
such a great example of like culture reproducing dog shit behavior. Because
Dude, I
it's not
can't even
used to
comprehend
communicate.
touching someone without being like, do you
Yeah.
Is that Glossier
want
makeup?
this?
Okay, this is not, but everything I wanted to talk to you about this
Dude.
Because I don't know anything about makeup. I don't wear makeup. I tried to wear eye makeup today because I wanted to impress you, but I did a bad job.
I'm impressed. You're so beautiful. You wouldn't need to wear makeup.
But I cannot wear makeup.
Hell yes, dude.
And
This rules.
I always make fun of Glossier because, okay.
I know
so
it's easy to make fun of them. Also, I think we should wrap up soon, but also because I have to go, but
Yeah.
also because we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
but I want to talk to you about this because it's a passion of mine.
Okay,
So
we have to talk
continue.
about I'm
Yeah.
sorry I interrupted whatever we
No,
were talking about.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I will say the thing about Glossier is that women who are as beautiful as you are always on the ads and they're like, I put this cum on my face. I just rubbed cum on my face and now I'm even prettier. And I'm like, you look the same. Like it looks the
Yeah.
exact same. But I will say
Okay,
recently,
but we are equally we're
but that's
attractive
not
equals.
true. But it's okay.
It
It's okay.
is
It's okay.
true.
It's okay. We don't have to talk about it. But anyway, so I will say that I will say that Glossier, like I generally have decent skin. So
It's good for people who have good skin.
it is good for people who have good skin. Although you smoke too, but
Not
I feel
a
like
lot, only on vacation.
see, I smoke every day.
Yeah.
So as a daily smoker, I feel like I don't have the skin for Glossier products. I feel like
But do you do like skincare stuff? Like, do you?
I put on like a certain thing at night, and in the morning I always put on SPF.
Okay, that's
moisturizer.
really good. I mean, SPF is very important.
The fact
Yeah.
that you're a daily smoker suggests that the tobacco industry was right and that tobacco is harmless because you don't look
You're
like
so
you don't-
beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sponsor us, Big Tobacco.
Sponsor us. Parliament. Sponsor our podcast.
Dude, if we could get
This episode
sponsored
is
by
brought to you by-
bidets and
No,
pee
but
phones.
You fill in your eyebrows, right?
I just did today.
Okay,
Yeah.
it looks
For,
great.
just
Thank
for you.
Yeah,
It
just
looks
for you.
so great.
All I did makeup wise was my eyes. So I just did eyebrows, like, but I didn't do any skin makeup.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, tell me what your
okay.
makeup is.
So I put on like regular CC cream, which is like I don't know what the CC stands for, like
Yeah.
BB CC.
BB cream,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't know what the difference
know you're
is.
talking about.
But I have like one that I like, so I put it on, and then I put on like a. This is an Glossier sponsor. I put on like a dark. They have like the cloud paint, which is
Yeah.
like the like liquid blush. So I put on like a darker tan like here as like bronzer, and then I put on like a bright pink here, and then I use like highlighter,
Yeah.
and then I use their like boy brow thing on my eyebrows.
Oh my God, I love the boy brow thing. I've never actually used it, but I was inspired to use old mascara as boy brow,
Yeah.
and it works extremely
No,
well.
it's really great. I mean, many other brands have like the same thing,
Yeah.
but cheaper. I really like it because I don't think it looks like I'm wearing fake eyebrows, but it
Right.
like fills them in slightly. And then, but then I'm also wearing like mascara, which in real life, like at home, if I do my makeup, I do all of that except I don't wear mascara. I only wear
Interesting.
mascara like if I'm going on a date or like going out or like trying to look nice for whatever reason. So like
You got to do it for the pod.
on vacation, yeah, for the pod, I wanted to wear mascara, but and then I also wear this. This is like my day-to-day lipstick, which is like green, but it doesn't come on
Yeah.
green. It's what the fuck brand is it? Lipstick Queen, and the color is Frog Prince, and it like
Interesting.
sorry, sponsor me, Lipstick Queen. It's like green, but it like does something like on your skin that it like is pink and it looks different on everyone, but pretty. You can
That's awesome.
look at it if you want. You're a woman. You guys probably aren't concerned. But that is my makeup routine. It only takes 5 minutes, but I do sometimes get annoyed by how much like more awake and prettier I look when I put some color on my face.
Yeah. Whenever I wear mascara or lipstick to work, people are always like, "So you went out last night? Is this the makeup from last night?" And I'm like, "No, I just
Dude, that's brutal.
decided to
Yeah.
wear makeup today."
All
yeah.
right. Well, influencer Mindy Isser, thank you for coming on the show. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Socialism, pretty cool. I like it.
Check out socialism at www.socialism.com / Blue
Mindy
Chew.
Isser.
All right.
Wow, you pronounced my last name right. Did we talk
Yeah,
about
we
that?
got
We
yeah,
did.
yeah, we
Okay.
got it wrong the first episode.
Everyone does. Yeah.
I was
Well,
still
MD
wrong
got it
about
wrong.
it, so.
I was holding out to find out what happened to MD when she said it.
You were internally wrong. But you just
Exactly.
didn't want to bump that and be wrong.
Yeah. Well, if I routinely forget people's names and I will fucking do anything. My favorite trick, if I like don't remember someone's name, is to then introduce them to someone else.
Oh, that's a great classic. Yeah,
It's a classic.
People know when
classic.
that's happening.
I don't care because plausible
But no one
deniability.
will talk about it.
Exactly. Plausible deniability is all that it's about.
You ever do that to two people where you forgot both of their names?
No,
and you're
how
like,
does that
no,
work?
but
you two should meet. And
Yeah,
then you're like,
yeah,
watch.
What's your...
yeah. Anyway, well, thank you for coming on the show. It was so fun.
Thank
Anytime.
you.
All right.